Hi, everyone. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sophia Jacob, and I am the founder of Canadian Women of Color Leadership Network. I'm delighted to welcome you all to our very first Success Speaker Series. So just a little bit about our organization. The Canadian Women of Color Leadership Network is a grassroots organization that was established in 2018 on unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin territory, also known as Ottawa. Our network provides racialized women and non-binary people with career and educational services that will empower and educate them for leadership positions in their careers. Through an intersectional feminist framework, we aim to empower racialized women and non-binary professionals with the necessary skills, tools, and connections in order to overcome systemic barriers and be reflected in upper level positions. We provide a space for community amongst BIPOC women in any and at all stages of their career fields, wherever they are starting out as entrepreneurs. Today, we are broadcasting from Ottawa, which is located on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation, and we do extend our respect to all First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people for their valuable past and present contributions to this land. So like I mentioned, this is our very first speaker series. We did create this series to highlight women of color entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders who have built successful businesses. These women are amazing. They've made a name for themselves. They've been recognized by their community. The women are creating a space also for young women of color to become great leaders like themselves. There's so many awesome things about these phenomenal women, which is why we created this speaker series. Like I mentioned, this is our first one, and we definitely have more to come. So I'll mention more about it at the end. So today I'm delighted to have our very first guest with us. She's a rock star businesswoman, and I'm so glad to have her here with us today. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Darpan Ahluwalia, known as the Total Nutrition Diva. Darpan is a registered holistic nutritionist and certified live blood analyst, and is also a products knowledge expert. Darpan is a formulator and educator, among other modalities. She can look at a client's blood under a microscope to see how it is processing nutrients, determining how balanced and the entire digestive system is functioning, the overall health of a client, and make supplement recommendations for the best of their unique makeup. Understanding your health is about understanding how your body is able to absorb nutrients and find the root cause of your imbalances and issues. Darpan has been in practice for almost 20 years. Her health knowledge and protocols have had clients seek her out from across the globe. She's also the owner of Manotick Natural Market and Wellness Hub. Welcome, 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 Darpan.
Thank you for inviting me, Sophia. No pressure. I'm the first one.
Yes. I am so tremendously glad to have you here with us, Darpan. You don't know what it means to me. It's been a long time since I've seen you in person, but now that I can see you through Zoom and we can connect on social media, I'm just so glad to be in the space and you in my space. So this is great to connect this.
I appreciate it too, Sophia, very much so.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get right into it. Let's go back a bit and start your journey as a businesswoman. So how did you get started, Darpan?
Oh, wow. I started way back. So I came to Canada when I was 15 as a foreign student, and my grandfather owned a health food store in Hazelmead Mall in Canada, because we're in Ottawa here. And I just kind of fell in love with the herbs there. Like, I actually hated them first because my job as a 15-year-old over there was not really cash or anything, talking to customers. It was just kind of cleaning and filling up the spice rack he had at the back of the wall, which had 102 spices, and they were in this tiny little containers that you had to sometimes even fill up twice a day if people came got it, because you wanted them fresh. And I used to sneeze like no tomorrow, so I used to hate doing that job. And then finally I kind of fell in love with them, going, okay, what are these cool little things? Coming from India, I only know a little bit about homeopathy and Ayurvedic herbs that my parents used. So this was a huge amount of spices that I had never heard of. So I started actually educating myself with this Bible he had given me called the Earl Mandel's Herb Bible, and just learning about all these different herbs. It just kind of got my curiosity going, and I started blending my own little herbs and made a little business out of it. When all the old people would come and talk to me, I would say, oh, what's your health issue? And then I would concoction a tea for them. So that's where all this really started, is I wanted to become an entrepreneur. Like, I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field. I studied business. I went to do pharmacology, and in the back of my head, I always was in love with herbs and natural stuff. So going back, it started really at age 15, but I didn't really start my business till I was 20 years of age.
Oh my God, Darpan, you started and you had a foundation that it was built from. It started from a very young age. It came from your culture, from your family. Beautiful, Darpan. I really love that. And you know what? I didn't really know that until right now. But now I can see it, why you ask those questions whenever you come into the market and whenever we meet with you. So what's going on with you? Yeah, I love it, Darpan. This is great. Yeah. Foundation is where you get your sense of who you are, and it kind of tells you who you're going to become. The foundation that you get.
And I have to say, I'm grateful enough to know it at an early age. Be not that my grandfather had a store, possibly I would be a pharmacologist right now, because that's what I wanted to do. But you know what? Life has a way, and everybody's here for a special journey they have to do in their lifetime. And I think I was grateful to be able to do that.
And you're on your journey successfully. Yes. I may add, successfully. Wonderful. So what are the services and the products that you offer or even manufacture yourself, Darpan?
Oh my God. I mean, if you guys haven't been to my Manotick Natural Market, a store, please come on in. It's very unique, very different from other health food stores out there, which are franchises. This is locally family owned. We carry supplements, herbs, teas. Majority of our products, as much as we can get, is local. Supplements are as much Canadian source as possible. And the quality really does matter. So we don't carry certain brands that I, as a product knowledge expert, has done the research just because it's cheap and easy to sell. I will not bring that in my store. I have to make sure where the raw materials are coming from. You could all the bottles look the same, but unless you really know what's inside it, it's really not going to do the full benefit you're supposed to be doing and paying for. So among that, we also have lots of different services. So I'm a nutritionist. I do nutrition counseling, weight loss counseling. I'm a certified live blood analyst. So I take a quick prick on the fingertip. It doesn't replace your medical test. So please continue doing that with your doctor. But that gives me an indication of what's going on in your body deep down, and find the root cause. Because most people think symptoms are normal and they get used to it. People are like, I'm tired. Oh, you know what? It's my age. Oh, I have 3 kids. No, the body's screaming out, telling you there's something's off. So let's look into it. Then we have an infrared sauna therapy here. We do a special machine from Switzerland that gives extra oxygen to your blood. We have energy healing. We have a very special table here called the Trinity table that was made by a guy from NASA. There's only 1 in Canada and 17 in the world. That gets you into theta stage of healing. So we do so much more than just a health food store. We're a full wellness clinic right here.
That's amazing. And you're out there in Manotick doing a full service wellness program. You've got everything. And I love how you do background checks on the chemicals that are going in or that somebody brings to you for putting into your products. Why is that so important? Tell the people why that is so important. They should know, but sometimes people are making things and you don't know what's going into it.
Exactly. It's really important where the raw materials are coming from. What soil was the raw material grown on? Is it coming from a contaminated soil? Was it well taken care of? That's just some of it, but also like what labs are making it. Are they like being just multiplied somewhere and everybody's just white labeling it? That's really important to know. And trying to support, yes, we want to support the whole world, but right now we are in Canada. We are going through this COVID, that in a pandemic that we never expected. So not only because of pandemic, but we should try to like support the country within as much as we can. And obviously not everything's made here. So yes, go all over the world. Like for example, Ayurvedic medicine's best place to have them is from India, because they know what they're talking about. That's where the culture comes from, you know? So knowing where the background is, and not only that, what time of the day you need to take these supplements, you know, what will contraindicate with the medications perhaps you might be taking, what not to take with it, even food wise, because there is contraindications. These are herbs, this is a nature food that God's given. But again, it has been, they also grow in certain times of the year too, because they have more nutrition than whether they need more sun or water or whatever, right? So that all is really important. And you had spoken about the formulations. So I do a lot of formulations. So when you come in, I don't have 102 spices like my grandfather did, but I have about 50 spices and herbs. When you come, we sit down and I concoction right there and then what is the best suited for your body. So we understand what your body needs, what's lacking, what your symptoms are, and make the best out of it. And then, of course, my golden root. I don't know if you know about my product.
No, tell us about the golden root. I probably have, like, I'm going to probably go deeper into it. Just go into it now, Darpan. Yes, let's hear about it.
So it's a product that I formulated about 5 years ago, mainly for my kids, because I come from an Indian background and we use tons of turmeric in our food. And being a nutritionist, a plant therapist, a herbalist, you know, just understanding the food and nutrition more, it gives me a better understanding on how it should be taken and how it should be absorbed in the body. And there was a big fad, like, you know, every couple of years we get this new herb or vitamin that's a cure-all, and we all know there is no cure-all, otherwise we all be perfect. Turmeric was becoming a very common, and I was finding a lot of my clients would come in and they would have a lot of symptoms, especially nausea, because they were just putting turmeric in everything. So in Ayurvedic medicine, you can't just put turmeric in anything. You have to make sure it's either it's in a hot environment, like we're making curries and stuff, but also it has to have some kind of a fat constitution to it to help it absorb. So when they were putting it in like smoothie shakes, they would actually get more issue, because it is causing almost the opposite effect of what it's supposed to do, which is helps with anti-inflammation, but it was causing more inflammation for the people and too hard for people to digest, because they didn't even know how much to use. So they were just putting teaspoons of turmeric in there, not knowing it is a fat soluble spice. It has its own constitution. So it has to be still broken down in your gallbladder and liver to actually absorb. And most people, for me at least, I know that because I see thousands of clients in the last 20 years in service, is a lot of the people, the gallbladder is taken out, the liver is not doing very well. So you're not really assimilating all these fats as efficiently. So golden root is a non-fat soluble turmeric that gets in your system, bypassing the gallbladder and the liver, and gets your system right away. So it works for digestive issues, for inflammation, for immune systems. Now, there's no cure for COVID, but it's a great thing to add in your household. It tastes like salad dressing. My kids absolutely love it. And I have a lot of cancer clients using it too, and people have seen great success with that product. So I'm very proud and happy to call that my baby. And that's just the first of my many products coming out.
My God, Darpan, what made you think of going to golden root? What made you think of creating this it's non-medicinal. It's non-medicinal, am I right?
It's all food grade, yes.
It's all food grade. What made you think of creating this? Like, where did you just say, you know what, I'm going to create a product and that's it, bye? Like,
so I'm a bit of a nerd and I'm always creating something. So I have this little mini lab of herbs and bottles and concoctions where I'm always creating anywhere from juices to teas to anything and everything topical and internal. So when I was working with the turmeric, I just wanted to work with something that would have the right remedies in there for my kids, really.
Right.
And then from there, a couple of my very good friends had found out they had cancer. And I had done tons of research on turmeric prior to how it helps with cancer and other things. But again, as soon as your immune system is compromised, you're not able to absorb. So you know what, hypocrites and everybody in the past said, you are what you eat, which is so very important. But our soil is so depleted, our environment is so toxic. You can eat the best food in the world, but if you're not assimilating it the right way or absorbing it, you're really not doing good to your cells and your body. So that's where it kind of got a little crazy for me, going, you know what, I want to do this. So I used to make it at home. As of 4 years now, I am not allowed to make it at home. It's made in a GMP, which is Good Manufacturing Practices Health Canada lab. And then it comes and I can sell it to my clients.
Oh, that's Darpan, what? That's what I'm talking about. All these amazing things that you are doing, and you created this for the health of others, to ensure that we are healthy and that we come out even stronger. And I'm sure the folks who have cancer, like you said, they're enjoying this. It doesn't taste bad, and it's also helping to keep them healthy as best as possible.
And as I said earlier, right, we have to be so careful what we say. It's not a cure-all, but amount of testimonies you will see on the Facebook or on the Total Nutrition Diva page, it's unbelievable what it's done. And that's one of the reasons I went to that extra step of getting it made in a certified lab. So it is done properly, and people that are getting the product is safe and secure, and, you know, just making sure everything's done the right way.
Like I said, you are a rock star. That's why I said you have to be here with us.
We're all rock stars.
Amazing. Just amazing. So what else is unique about your business, Darpan? Tell us one thing that's very unique about your business. You explained a lot, but tell us something else that's really unique about your business.
Well, we have so many modalities to help you. So it's not just supplement. You come in, you're not just going to, so let's give an example. I have a lot of clients who watch, you know, Dr. Oz or go through Dr. Google, and they try to figure out what they should be taking, or their neighbor is taking a product and they're like, oh, I should take it too. And my clients know I am so anti that, because everybody's body chemistry is so different. So when clients come in, they always ask, oh, I saw this today, can I buy it? And I'm not the kind of person, because I'm a very good salesperson. I know that. Like my mom used to say I could probably sell ice to an Eskimo. Like, you know, I know that, but I'm not going to misuse my knowledge to do that. So when people come in, they know that Darpan is going to give me the right advice, especially if they've dealt with me prior to. If they haven't, they will always hear me ask, what are you taking it for? Do you need it? Like, I challenge them about what they're asking for. And if it's not the right remedy, I don't want to give it to them. Let's find what you actually need for your body, and we'll get you the right remedy. So yes, it's happened many times when people come and I'm like, I don't think it's the right remedy. And putting my nutrition practitioner aside, I've had sometimes to sell it, and sometimes I've just said, you know what, you can just get it anywhere depending on what where I'm at. But like, I'm very particular about what I'm selling, who I'm selling to, and why I'm selling. That's the big question. I can sell anything and anything to anybody walking in, but it's so important for them to have the success so they will come back. First of all. Second, it's not doing harm to their body, because my focus and my path in this life is to make sure I'm here to help people in their health. So again, not misusing that, but getting my knowledge to work for them versus against them. And everybody I hire, they're not just cashiers. They're all practitioners. They all have knowledge. If they don't, I put them through nutrition. I put them through under me to make sure they understand what's going on. If they have a question, they're not allowed to just sell. I'm a phone call away. If I'm not at work, which I'm here all the time, they can call me and I can get them the right information if they're not able to help. So that I find is definitely unique, because if you go to any store, a lot of times you don't get a knowledgeable staff person. They're just selling, and there's labels for people to just go pick up something for menopause or digestion. Whereas you come here, there's no labels. You have to talk to me. I will tell you which ones would be the best ones for you.
Exactly. And that says to me, Darpan, excellence in customer service. You want to ensure that not only with the ingredients and the products that you know and that your knowledge is there, but you also want the people to return. So it needs excellent customer service.
And for them to understand why they're taking it. Doesn't matter which practitioner they're seeing, myself or anybody, I always challenge them there too. Why are you taking this? Oh, I don't know. Well, you need to ask your practitioner, why are they giving you this for? You need to understand, not only because you've spent the money on getting that service, but also energetically, if you know what you're taking for, you're able to see what symptoms are changing and not changing, and like see what's working for you. So it's really, really important.
Yeah, it is very important, and it's very unique, and each customer is well taken care of. They're well, even if
we try our best.
Yeah. Amazing. And that is great. That is great for the business. And that's why people will return to you each time. So what are some of the challenges that you faced in the early days of your business, Darpan?
Oh, you know what? I faced a lot of challenges, many challenges. Not only because I was young. I'm not going to take the bank's name. So for example, I've made this nice business plan. I know where I'm going with it. I'm 20 years old. I take this amazing business plan to one of the banks. Across from me is a gentleman, much older, totally disregarded, looked at it, not even fully, totally disregarded the business plan. And then just a year later, I saw franchises of the similar plan coming all around. So very disappointing. In that case, people think, you're young. So a lot of times when I was working, own my own business at age 20, I know people used to come till they got to know me. Oh, is there anybody older who can help me? It didn't matter. I had all these designations, all these information behind my name, but plus I'm short, so I probably look a lot younger than I am. But culturally, there has been some racism. Canada is a beautiful country, lots of multicultural. As coming to Canada as a student in grade 10, there was a lot of bullying. So anywhere from actually before starting to work to into work, there has been a lots of challenges, whether it's because being a female, being too young, being a different color, has always been there a bit. Mind you, lots has changed in the last little while. So I find that absolutely people are more open to it, but it's a little bit of that is still there.
Face the barriers though. We had ageism. They were saying you're too young. You're a woman. So sexism, the misogyny and all the rest of it. Of course, the biases with microaggressions and systemic racism. Of course, these are all the barriers that compound. And you were a newcomer at that time. You were a newcomer, international student.
International student, paying international fee, then becoming an immigrant, and then I had a beautiful business plan, and I used it, and here I am. But I had zero support from the bank as well, looking that, no experience. I kind of get it, but just there was a lot of
another barrier, Darpan. That is another barrier that's another barrier that is put in the place or in the face of women of color. It's another barrier. It's an institution that says you don't have a viable business. We don't trust who you are. You're too new. You're too young. You're a woman of color, and we don't trust people. So that piece
pretty much
of the racism that was there facing you in that institution that, of course, a lot of our women of color, especially young women of color, are facing right now. They're facing it.
And you know what? Because I was younger, maybe a little naive, a little more aggressive, it really did upset me, but it didn't stop me. Absolutely. Definitely did not stop me.
And that's the resilience of women of color. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, as you grew in your business, when did you know it was time to expand?
Oh, that's a big question, because I tell everybody, you know what, have a plan, have goals, and it doesn't matter if they're small or big. Once you reach that, then you go to the next level. Now, I'm contradicting completely what I'm saying because I have done what I have felt I needed to do to get to the next level, whether I was ready or not. So if you've been following me and you know what I do, I'm very much into energy medicine as well. I 100% believe what universe has to offer, and there's reasons things happen. So many things, reasons that things happen, but I have always just been almost 10 steps ahead of a trend per se.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would think of something I wanted to do it, I would just go ahead and do it. But because it wasn't the right time or...
Oh, wait a second, Darpan. Darpan, oh, you're on mute. Just a sec, Darpan. Darpan? Yeah, you're on mute. Unmute yourself.
How did that happen?
Okay, no, it's all good.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm
Go ahead. No, that's all good. Go ahead.
It's probably saying talking too much.
Yeah.
So basically, I've always been 10 steps ahead in my category, in my business, of what I wanted to do. Way back, I was 21. I started, for example, a delivery company for elders, where if they couldn't come out, I would do their grocery shopping, but also take supplements to them. Oh, wow. And it did okay, but because it's too early a trend, people didn't understand if that was a norm. So it wasn't as much of a success. And now you can see some companies doing fantastic with it, which is great. So just saying, there's been a lot of different trends that came 5-10 years later that I had already thought of. But if I had planned it better and waited, because I don't have patience to wait, I could be even much more further ahead. Being said that, I don't regret any of the decisions I made, because it just made me ahead of the schedule every time. And then if I wanted to go back into it, could, but I always like trying new things without any barriers. I want to just jump in, but that's my personality.
Yeah. And you know what? It's great to explore, and it's kind of great to try new things, be innovative. And at the time when you started the delivery service, you were being innovative. People just were not catching on at that time. And now, like you said, it was a trend. You know what I mean? So you were before everything. You were forecasting ahead, which is good. And you challenged yourself to just do it instead of sitting down and not.
And some were successful, mildly, some not that great. But you know what? I'm a risk taker. Awesome. So if I wasn't a risk taker, I don't think I would be here either, though.
Yeah, and those taking those risks, you are known Canada-wide. You are known Canada-wide, not only Canada-wide, what am I saying? Globally, which is great. You're known all over the globe. So of course, by taking those risks, you jumped in, you weighed the pros and cons, but you still did it, which is amazing, amazing. So we're going to turn the conversation a little bit to the left, if I can, Darpan.
Okay.
We're going to go back to the time, I think you said it was about 3 years ago now. There was a fire at your store.
Actually, more than 3 years.
More than 3 years? Okay. So tell us about that story, because I would love to hear how you came back.
You know what? I'm not as emotional as I used to be when I used to talk about it, just because I've kind of grown out of it, and I've seen how it had not happened. I wouldn't be the person I am right now. It was in 2013, and that's why I have such a love and hate relationship in March with St. Paddy's Day, because it happened on St. Paddy's Day. And I was in India visiting my family with my kids, and I got a YouTube from or a message from a client saying the business had burned down. So it was very, very difficult for sure, because I had 13 years of work and I had nothing to show. Like literally, it was just ashes. So that was a huge barrier in my work, not being able to show what I had worked for. That hit my ego big time. I got into a different mindset, just like you were saying, let's go to the left. I went quite left. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't see people, my friends, for a good year, just trying to sort out in my head what I wanted to do. I actually left Canada again and went to Houston, Texas, for a little while with the kids. And it's something that, you know what, it was very difficult, but my mom at that time, when I was in India, she goes, you know what, maybe something good will also happen out of this. And when she said that, I actually got mad at her, because I wasn't thinking anything but like, whoa, I've worked my, bejesus off to be at this point, and I literally have nothing to show. Yes, there's insurance, but that was a whole another chapter. It wasn't what I ever expected. I have zero trust in insurance companies, but you know what? we still have to continue. But you know what? It did change me, and it changed me for a better me, I feel like. So maybe within the plans of the universe going, you know what? We need to make this happen because you're not taking care of certain other things like yourself, or what other things. I know what they are now. So I would say yes, even though it was very drastic and depressing, it made me a whole new person, and I'm happy to see myself in this position. Even though I had to start all over again, I'm happy where I am. I'm content because I'm a better person now than I was when I was running my business, and I just being a business person.
They say that fire burns things to clean.
Yes.
To newness.
The phoenix rises.
Absolutely. Out of the ashes. And you absolutely bounced back 100%. No, not even 10,000%. And I mean, you came back like a raging storm. Amazing. You have the market, you have your entrepreneur business, total Nutrition Diva. You have that. I'm surprised you have the golden route that you made. You've got speaking events all over the place. You've been on TV. You've been everywhere I can think of. You've won awards. You've talked on shows. I'm just like, what else is Darpan gonna do?
And you know what?
Are you writing a book though?
Yes.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, so that one is with my partner Kathy. We've been on and off doing nutrition together for our clients since 2008 when I had clinics, and it's called "Are You Nutritionally Naked?" Because of COVID, it has been delayed a lot because online the word naked red flagged us, so we had to change a lot of different things. So hoping another month we should be ready and go with the book. But we do have a beautiful health community we've built called the Nutritionally Nourished Health Group, which is free. So if anybody listening to this, welcome to obviously follow me on Total Nutrition Diva, but also go and check out the health group because we give so much information. Like we'll be talking about hormones at 7 p.m. tomorrow if anybody wants to listen. As all females, we all have to go through hormones, so it's good to have some knowledge on that. But
I'm tuning in tomorrow because I'm in the group, so I'm tuning in. So.
Yes, you know what? As you were saying, like I've done all these different things, but honestly, I was so focused and dedicated to my business. I'm still married to it pretty much, but like I was so focused that I was just doing that. And if anybody asked me to do anything else, I felt like I couldn't leave my little bubble because it will destruct itself. But afterwards, I'm able to actually let go and actually even go further and expand and do things that I should be doing. So maybe there was a reason for it, not that it should have happened, but you know what? I'm grateful for where I am.
Yeah, and we are grateful to know you and be able to get a chance to have you in the seat with us today. So did you ever have anyone who tried to mentor you or was with you at a point of change in your business or gave you any type of guidance or advice that you've taken and that helped your business forward?
Absolutely. My kids actually were young, but they were always my little out of the box. I used to always talk to them and they would give me these suggestions that were out of the box. Actually, there was no box. It just came up and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I should try that. The kid's dad has been a backbone for me too, because he's helped me through thick and thin. He's a numbers guy, whereas I'm not. I have a bad hand with money sometimes. And he has always helped me grow, because even though I always had little ideas of where I wanted to go, he could help me guide how to do it. So that was helpful. I come from a business family, so getting advice from my mom and dad and my sisters has been very beneficial because all of them are in business, different kinds of businesses. So that, and then my friends, some of my friends who have again gone through hardships. People who have gone through hardships seem to understand just a little bit more. Yeah. So I find I reached out to, a lot of my friends who I've seen doing different types of businesses. I've seen them struggle and just get their little points from them as well. That doesn't mean, knowing me, because I have an ego, that I'm taking all these advices, but I don't disregard them. So I will take them and then I'll put it on my platter and just look through them going, will I do this? And what will this take me to? And does this fall into my journey, or is it taking me out of what I really want to do? So I would always analyze it. I'm an analyst, so I always analyze to see if it is the best advice, at least from my point of view, for me to take these steps. And yeah, I've taken a lot of them, and I haven't. And as I said, any regrets? Very few, maybe, but overall, not really, because as I said, I'm happy where I am. Mm-hmm. Like I every time I wanted to become a naturopathic doctor, right, I got pregnant. Right. Obviously, universe didn't want me to leave Ottawa, because you have to leave Ottawa to become a naturopathic doctor. Yeah. So that's my next step, is because COVID is happening, and I can do a lot of things online. Right. I've reached out to them and see if I can finish up my doctorate online. And if that's the case, next time you meet me, I might be a doctor.
Oh, Darpan, you're just filling the space with so much goodness, so much golden nuggets. I just absolutely love it. It's just amazing to speak with you. I'm just so inspired by you right now, literally inspired by you. You've done just such amazing things. It's been great. So just going back over a little bit, what are your thoughts around being in a business group or a group for business owners? Does that help business owners in your mind?
So I'm in a part of a lot of groups, and I kind of sit back and just watch a lot of times before I start actually like really participating in there. And I think they're great groups. Everybody, as I said, has a different path, and everybody has a different energy. What an individual needs to do, and that's what I do for myself, is I try to resonate with I try to connect with people that resonate with me, whether they're business coaches or even other nutritionists, anything that's going to help me grow, but at the same time, I'll be able to give back as well. You just have to make sure you're on the same wavelength and same kind of energy and same kind of a goal. Because if people have different goals, you can be listening to all these different advices. And it actually sometimes, for me at least, it confuses me going, oh my gosh, where do I want to go? This sounds good too, but about this. So I always, as I said, I just take all that and just put it in front of me and go, okay, which one fits my path? This one, these things don't fit my path. So I think they're great groups, and I think everybody should be in a part of a community, because community does help you grow, but at the same time, still have your own, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like approve yourself to be able to be vulnerable.
Right. Trust in yourself, your own self-trust, your own self-worth. I think those groups too have good pieces to them, but sometimes there's a lot of distraction and noise. You're going to extract what you're going to extract. That is the goodies that you're going to take with you to implement into your business or your entrepreneur walk.
And I mean, like, obviously human nature, you can't always take all the goodies, but you think there are the goodies, right? And then you're taking them with you. And then during your path, you try them and see, oh, this didn't work for me. This wasn't good enough. And that's okay too, because you're learning from each experience that you're going to go through, and different people that you're going to work with. You're going to understand what kind of a person you want to work with. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense, because it also helps you know who the right partner for you is in different collaborations, or if you go into a full-on partnership, your own voice inside will tell you, and the experiences from networks like that will also tell you if that is a good partnership, if that's a good collaboration, what fits with you.
Exactly.
Why is a chemist, why is, partnering with a bottle manufacturer? So of course they want to be able to bottle some of their.
It's like compounding and then making sure they're working versus exploding, right?
Exactly.
Like I've had people ask me to come teach their practitioners, and I just have to look at that space and see, are these the kind of person who I can teach? Are they willing to listen to me? Are they going to just question me because I'm not a doctor? but I've trained doctors, I've trained naturopathic doctors on nutrition, on supplements, and I've been hired by private companies to do that. So I'm grateful to do that. But I've also come to a point when they've asked me, I've put my foot down going, I don't think I can teach this group because I don't see like there's a disconnection here. So they're not coachable, and I won't be able to really do justice to you or your people or myself. So just knowing the boundaries, which I'm learning a lot. Like I'm, 30-ish plus years old, but but I'm learning every year, like my boundaries. I still don't have all my boundaries up, but you know what? I'm always learning.
Same here. It's a journey to start to learn to say no. And with your
that's hard.
Too, yeah, it's hard. With your success too, I know a lot of people want you to come and to speak, and sometimes where you're going to speak or who's asking you in their career or whoever is in their bubble, sometimes they don't respect what we do as entrepreneurs, right? Because they're professional.
It's a different mindset.
Right? Yeah,
it's a completely different mindset. The struggles everybody is going through, for example, right now, are on the same level as a person. Exactly. But as an entrepreneur, it's like off the charts right now for us. We already have, as entrepreneurs, a lot of struggles on a daily life, but throw pandemic into it, and we're struggling.
Yeah, and particularly our small businesses, not only in our city, but across the world, in our country, like there's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of stuff happening, but then we have spaces like this that can bring us together to have these great conversations. This is
absolutely. And you know what? Conversations are really important. Like, and I've learned that too. When my business burned down, or anytime I needed help, I didn't ask for help. I kind of hid away because I was feeling not vulnerable, which I hate being, but my ego was hurt too. So I just wanted to just move people away from me and just do my thing. And I wish now, seeing back what I did, I wish I reached out for help. It's okay to reach out for help, and I didn't. Absolutely. And I would tell that to everybody, like, don't think that you were smaller because you asked me for help, because I've been there, and I know I would be even much more successful or in a better place or even faster if I had asked for help. But that was a barrier for me for sure.
Yeah. And by asking for help, all they can do is say no. But if you move on to the next person could potentially.
You know what, Sophia? It's not even the no, it's the asking. Yeah. For me, it was the asking, like, why can't I do this myself? Why do I have to ask? Do you know what I mean? Like coming to Canada as a foreign student, just throwing myself into work, paying foreign student fee. For me, I've been a workaholic all my life. So for me, I've always been independent. Like, my parents are still back home in India. So like, it's for me, it's my mindset's made that way, where like, I have to fight and flight myself and make it happen and just get through. So for me to ask is, even now, sometimes just asking is huge for me, but I'm getting there.
You're getting there. You're working through it. You're working through it. Was there ever time that you wanted to quit, and how did you deal with the situation or overcome that situation?
Yeah, there have been few moments throughout the last 20 years of being in business that I wanted to quit for sure, because I feel like when you're an entrepreneur, you have to be there all the time, especially in the beginning. So you didn't really have much of a life outside your work till you're fully established, and you lose friendships because they don't understand where you are. So that was a tough time where I did lose friends, thinking like, Darpan doesn't care, she never comes out. But you know me, I'm out all the time. But I just needed to make sure I had set my foundation for my family and myself, so I can be okay later.
And that's the startup. That's startup mode.
Yeah, and then starting all over again when the store burned down, that was really hard. I did want to quit the first year, but it's something in me just didn't let me quit. So what did I do? I just brushed off the ashes off me and saying, "Here I come."
Yeah, you have the drive.
I do.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that. So I'm, again, fortunate enough to have people around me who have pushed me, going, "You're good at this, get back into it," including my parents, my sister, like everybody, right? So I'm grateful that there was a bit of a push when I was thinking of giving up. And I think what really made me like cross that barrier again was I got a job offer from another company in Ottawa with a very good pay. And I almost said yes, but then when my mom goes, can you work for someone? And I just sat back and said, no, I can't work for anybody, even if it's good money. So, okay, let's gonna start all over again. So entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. And it's hard to get out of that.
Honestly, serial entrepreneur. But even, I think, Darpan, even if the store had not burned down, I think you would still be in the same space right now, right? And I think you've jumped even 10 times further. I have to say you've even jumped 10 times further.
Yeah, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, no, you went double time. And now look where you are. You're known globally. And like how, like it would be only the universe. And like they probably know you too, Darpan, which is wonderful.
Me and moons have dates. You see me, me and my moon has dates like all the time. Full moon, new moon. We go for walks together.
Yeah, exactly. You see, this is the success. It's a success, and you work hard for it. 20 years in your business. That's amazing. A big celebration for sure.
Yeah, it's a 20-year anniversary. So you know what, people, if you've never been in, come on in. We have lots of specials all the time. And of course you get to see me.
Absolutely. And have a conversation with you because you take the time, which is really good.
I actually, Sophia, have opened that for people because a lot of people tag me when someone's suffering with some health issues. And a lot of people send me messages on text. Like I'm on my Facebook or my text all day long. So I'm trying to build a little bit boundaries around that too. So on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 to 12, anybody who is like looking for health information, can't afford a consult with me, is able to come inside Manotick National Market and just pick my brain from anytime between 10 and 12 on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I've opened that as of last week. So people can just come in, talk to me, and I can see what I can do to help them.
Awesome. So with the ups and downs of your business, particularly because of the pandemic, how has it been in your business and how have you adapted with the pandemic? What did you have to change? What did you have to let go?
It's been very difficult. Had to let go of a lot of stuff. I am a person who likes people. So, and because I'm a nutritionist, I work with energy and everything, I like the one-to-one contact because I'm able to read more than what the person is telling me, so I can help them to that level. Through social media, it's really not the same. And I love the word adapt because I don't like the word pivot at all.
Right.
So I like the fact that you use that. So I love you for that.
Yes.
I've adapted huge. So yes, there's pros and cons. Cons, like the business is down 60-70% because people have gone online to buy stuff. It's easy for them to pick up something, come straight to the door. But we have hired Go For It, which is a local company that can deliver to you in one day. Plus we have Canada Post. Plus, you know, if I really have to, I'll go drive the product to you. So we're trying to do as much as possible, even though being down. Adapting wise, I've gone a lot online. The whole store is on Shopify. I'm doing a lot of courses, like a huge 12-week course launching on this next week on 7th of April as a 12-week course. We're teaching people how to take care of themselves, especially with this pandemic. And if the pandemic didn't happen, I don't know if I would have done the online course really, because I like to see people in person. Right. Because there's so much relief from and release that comes from a customer coming in or a client coming in with their health issues and me sitting and talking and getting that bond going, just smiling, just seeing their emotions versus through the screen. It's not the same at all.
It isn't the same.
So yes, I've adapted to the social media portion of it. Not my favorite, but I am doing it because it needs to be done. And I'm hoping that it's not going to last that long and people will be back seeing each other, hugging and getting just healed by just hugging and seeing each other and seeing them out. When you're covered like this, you can't really see what's going down. You can't see if they're sad, if they're like, it's this right here is so important. So I'm hoping things will change. Adapting. What else have I done? We've done curbside pickup. We've done delivery. All my old age homes know they can just call me and I'll drop it off in the front center. People don't want to come in. There's green bins outside with their names and tags, so they can just pay online or over the phone. So we've done a lot of different things to continue going as a business in this pandemic and trying to compete with the big box companies, which has been very hard, because I mean, you know, and no fault of anybody, it's just the way it is. People are just too scared to come out, so for them it's easy to just click and have it come to them next day, right? So that's a huge competition, but you know, hopefully people will realize that they still need communication and they still need people connection, and they'll come back out. So totally
nothing
for that.
Priceless than human connection. This is great because it helps us to connect, because we need to do so for the pandemic. But the actual face-to-face human connection, you can actually feel the vibe in the room. That vibration, we feed off of that as people, because we are people, we need to connect. Even if you're an introvert, whatever the case may be, that human to human connection cannot be portrayed as well through Zoom. 100%. I can tell you how I feel, but if I run up and hug you without saying any words, I've actually told you how I feel. And so you're right. The human connection is a major piece of how our small businesses are supposed to be surviving and help to survive. But
and, you know, people have to remember.
Yeah, it's just
people have to remember, small businesses are the ones who will help you with your fundraisers. They will take co-op students. I've taught so many. I've taken in so many people. I've actually gotten some of the nutritionist jobs in other fields because I have some connections. Like, I love supporting the community and connecting people. Like, you are a huge connector. I love it, and not anywhere close to that. But in my little bubble of health, I like to connect people so they're able to grow just like I did, you know, have opportunities basically.
And that is what is amazing about you. And that is mentorship. That is sponsorship, helping them to go to different spaces. And that is what is necessary. So how do you feel about the economy and the future of Ottawa's small businesses?
Oh, well, you know, you've seen so many businesses already close down in the last year, and it's only been a year, and they're expecting this to go till 2023. Small businesses like myself, I would say you're looking at least another 50-60% to close down, unless they have a lot of money support or old money sitting in the background somewhere. Even that's going to get depleted if they have kids and stuff. So they need to start looking out for that.
Pushing their online sales, I think, too. You've been able to adapt and throw a lot of your stuff online. You've gone on with Shopify, and a lot of businesses have done that. But some have said we can't do the back and forth with in and out of zones and in and out of this and that. And they couldn't bring themselves to adapt to online services. And
it's not for everybody. I get it.
Exactly.
I had to hire someone to do that because I couldn't do it. Me and computers don't get along. We just don't, right? Like, they make me feel slow, and I just don't comprehend computers as well as I comprehend herbs and blood. You know, so I had to hire people to take care of that. So many people don't know where to go, or that as an entrepreneur, having that trust is really, we're hard on trusting people. So depending on where the culture is coming from, a lot of the ethnic people will probably shut down before asking someone outside for help. It's just the way it is, which is unfortunate, but it is that's the way it is. Where do I see it going? I really hope that I'm wrong. If things don't change, we will see more mental health issues, which you're already seeing huge 100% up in depression medications, even in the youngsters ages 9 to 15. Like, that's our future. So I'm hoping, yes, things will change, not only economically, but it does affect economically with our as humans. If we are not going to be thriving, the economy is not going to thrive. So you know what, we've never expected to be in a pandemic, so it's really hard for me to answer what's going to happen. I'm hoping for the best. Let's just say that everything's gonna nothing's gonna be completely back to normal, but like hopefully things will kind of get back on track.
Yeah, I hope so too. And that would compound again women of color or people of color, because then that would be something again standing in the way and being a barrier due to the fact that we were already struggling in our businesses, right?
Right.
So the pandemic hit us like 4 times as much as anybody else who's not racialized. The racialized businesses are hit hard with things like pandemics and already having other barriers. There's barriers like biases, microaggressions, racism facing us, sexism, you know what I mean?
Sexism is huge.
Yeah, huge. And so what else could compound a woman's business, a person of color's business? A pandemic. Right?
So see you later, pandemic. First take care of it.
Yeah. It's just got to go. And hopefully we get through it. And I really hope for the best.
Oh, you know what? We will get through it. Like us humans have been around for a very long time, and we have always evolved. So hopefully everybody is evolving from this pandemic and get to the next level, hopefully in a better way, like we're going more right versus left, we spoke about earlier. So hopefully people are realizing a lot of different things during this time. So yes, there's a lot of negative stuff, but I think a lot of positive stuff has come out for many people too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of light at the end of the tunnel for the folks.
Always, if not really light it up yourself.
Exactly, amazing. So tell me something that's a favorite thing about being. What's your favorite thing about being a business owner?
Oh, there's so many. Favorite thing. Personally, for me, is not to answer to anybody. But that again is my ego. Like I'm working on that. I really am, people.
Oh no, I'm like that too. I don't answer to nobody. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And one more thing. This pandemic, because I, in the beginning didn't want my kids to go to school. They were homeschooling, so I was able to even just shut down, because not really many people were coming in, or made my own timings. When they started going to school, I have it in front. Now I'm open all the time because I have Mariah who helps me from 2 to 5. But from 2 to 4, I would shut down to go pick up my first batch of kids, and then come back and then go pick up the next batch of kids. So I would close between 2 and 4. And I'm glad I was able to do it. I know I had some upset customers who would come, but I had made it very visual on my Facebook page, on my website, that we are closed 2 to 4 due to COVID reasons. But you know what? I'm glad I was able to do that, because if I was working somewhere else, I would have not been able to do that. So I would say at this present moment, that would probably be my most favorite.
Yeah, because you're your own boss and you make the rules. So that's
and I break the rules.
Exactly. It's a plus. You're able to leave and go pick up your kids and bring them home safely, spend a bit of time with them. So nothing that can't be given back in any way. That is exactly a benefit for you.
There's a lot of rushing back and forth, but that's okay, because then I'm done that. They're taken care of. Then I come back and then I'm for the clients again.
And then you're great. No, this is really good. So if you had one piece of advice for someone who's just starting out in your industry, what would it be?
Ask for help and take care of yourself. That was, I think, one number thing for me, was like I was taking care of everybody around me. And that's, I think, not only human nature, it's a female nature, a mother nature, whatever you want to call it. Us females are taking care of our partners, our parents, our kids, our friends, and we forget about ourselves. And if we can't take care of ourselves, our energy, our fatigue is going to go down, and then we're not able to be helpful for ourselves or anybody else. And always ask for help, because it is overwhelming. You don't know what to do, ask for help. You don't know what the taxes are. I know a lot of people who are immigrants have had issues with that, because nobody taught them what to do. So make sure you have someone, a good accountant taking care of something, a good person taking care of your social media, and it's okay not to do everything yourself.
Exactly.
Yes, in the beginning, the money is tight, so you want to do as much as you can. Totally understand that. But even if you have to barter, man, I've bartered with people like when I couldn't afford. Oh, I'll fix you up. You fix me up, kind of thing, right?
Right.
So, but need that help, because if you don't know, then down the road it becomes an issue. Because I know a friend through a friend who had to pay a lot of tax and had to shut down because they weren't told how to do certain things properly. So if you're going to open a business, join business groups, right? Get some advice from people, even just in the group itself. That's free just to get started. Exactly. And hire people who are good in their fields to do what they do, so you can be in the next level and be the best version of yourselves.
Exactly, Darpan. This organization, I could have not done it without my program coordinator, July, who I hired.
Right.
I was kind of stagnant and being slow, and I wanted it to grow organically. And I was fierce about connecting women of color, and you know that.
Right.
And I'm fierce about how it is that we're not seen in leadership spaces. There's a wage gap, and that's against us. There's biases against us. I'm big on that. And with the pandemic, I said, it's time to move forward, Sophia, or you're never going to have.
And you're such an advocate for that. I respect you for it, because, you know, like that is your forte, and I love you for that. That's great. It's needed, very much needed. So
big time. And so we must work together to be able to bring ourselves forward and push for those seats at the table. And that's one of the things our network does. And I wanted to ensure that I moved to the next space. So I said, it's time to hire, because I'm doing everything myself and I cannot. So I hired a program coordinator to ensure that our programs are going to be here. Our mentorship program, our leadership program, and just doing some of the outreach that I could not do, right? It has been so fantastic. And she is just, you know what I mean? Like just
a godsend.
Yes, exactly. A godsend for me. Absolutely.
So there you go. So just like me, put your ego aside a little bit and be a little vulnerable. Yes, it's not the best secure place to be, but who knows? If you have the right person, then you'll grow.
That's right. Absolutely. There's growth with bringing people into your circle and making sure that your dream goes forward. So tell us or share with us one thing that you do for self-care that's outside of the business.
Oh, I do a lot of self-care within the business. I have to say, I go on my oxygen machine every day. I go in my infrared sauna almost every day for detoxification and zenning. For me, the biggest thing would be walks and meditation. I'm big on deep breathing, meditation, and my walks. And you will see me at midnight outside sometimes if it's a nice night with the moon out there. It is, my nature is my healer. I need to be in nature. Not in snow. I'm not a snow girl at all.
Either. No
That's
snow.
the brown in me.
Yeah.
I grew up in Indian hot temperature.
Yeah.
Like when I came to Canada, I loved snow because I'd never seen it. So I would just go in a slipper and shorts and sweatshirts, and people thought I was crazy. That went over really fast. Like 3 years, I was done. But no, it's just grounding myself, meditation, deep breathing, just taking care of me, which I did not do as much of. I always did some before the store burned down. So as I said, like there's a lot of changes I've done since then, and I'm happy with the changes. Still working on more.
No, they continue to work on it. So tell everyone where they can get a hold of you, Darpan, where you are online, what are your social handles, where are you located? Because I know people are going to be scampering, and they always have been, and you're just somebody who people migrate to. So tell us where we can reach you.
Okay, so for the health food store and the wellness clinic, you want to come see me in person. It's Manotick Natural Market, 1136 Tighe Street. Right next to Gingerbread Man. You can't miss me. I'm 10 minutes away from Barrhaven and Riverside, 35 minutes from downtown. I am not far. People think Manotick is far. It really isn't. Even 20 minutes away from Kempville only. You can see me on Facebook, Manotick Natural Market, and the website is manoticknaturalmarket.ca with Shopify on it. And of course, you guys can follow me on Total Nutrition Diva, where I give tons of health, free advice, as well as the Nutritionally Nourished Health Group. And the website is totalnutritiondivaoncall.com.
Awesome. Darpan, thank you so much. This has been absolutely fantastic, amazing. I appreciate you so much and all of the things that you're doing to really uplift, inspire, and just, you know, promote women of color. You are just a firecracker in this space, and I absolutely love you and adore you. And thank you so much for coming on as our very first guest for these multiple amounts of speaker series we're going to have with women of color all across the country.
That's amazing.
We absolutely want to thank you for sharing your time and your space with the other people who visit your Manotick market and who go with it online. I love your online space. What is the group called again? So I definitely want to
nutritionally nourished health community group.
Awesome. So people log into the group. Make sure you log on to all of Darpan's social media.
And 7 p.m. tomorrow, we talk about hormones.
7 a.m. guys. Do not forget.
PM.
Yeah. 7 p.m. Oh, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Do not forget to log on. Make sure you visit all of her social media handles. She's everywhere and she's doing a lot of good things. So before we go, we wanted to let you know we'll be back at 1 o'clock again tomorrow, guys. And then again Wednesday at 6 with 2 more fantastic women. We've got Mimi Dew tomorrow at 1 o'clock and Andrea Pierce on Wednesday